Mate, you were such an ingrained part of this show that you really don't need an introduction every week, so there isn't one.
Excellent. That's just the way I like it. We can cut straight to the chase.
I like that he says that as if that's not written down on his computer. That's not an intro that he's written down.
I don't.
And then he goes, but I was actually expecting you to introduce yourself. Well, I'm Jarret, because I no doubt this has come with some sort of prelude, and we know why we're here. If you've tuned in before, you know why I'm here. I'm here to push the physical media. It's a healthy addiction, and you might have a cupboard full of discs, but you can hide your shame.
Look
you
at
don't have to go out in public and talk about it. I like to give people a bit of a heads up. Look, I heard physical media is having a revival.
Ben, that sounds like a backhanded criticism to me.
It's the golden age of physical media, as I keep saying at the moment. It's ridiculous. This is to what the slashers were, from 78 through to 84 right now. We're seeing such an influx of titles coming out in 4K that you never thought would happen, including this little number, Steel Magnolias. Yes, I did decide to upgrade from DVD to 4K, and I'm pretty sure I said on a previous segment I wouldn't, but I did. And this film doesn't need it, but it does have an Atmos track, which blows my mind because there's so many more deserving films. But the fact is Sony are pretty good at doing these kind of releases. And I didn't intend to pick this up, but it was $35. And, it's such a great cast. I can't wait to revisit. Plus, it's got the TV pilot on there as well.
Cool.
So, when it's got stuff like that, it's pretty much a given that I'll buy it.
They should rebrand that to Still Magnificent.
Yeah, exactly. No doubt it's due for one of these, what do they call it, DI makeover movies. But we won't even touch on that. Although, admittedly, I have not checked out the Snow White trailer as yet, but I've been seeing it do the rounds, and it wasn't like one of these things where everyone's slagging it or anything. It seems to be drumming up some genuine excitement, which is something I didn't anticipate, considering we thought that Disney were going to bury this thing.
Well, it's because they've clearly taken it right back to the original roots. Like, it looks like it's just
Scaled
an actual
back,
honest remake, and it's not going to take any new liberties or anything like that.
Probably spent a lot of money to retool that film. So, hopefully it has some degree of success. But I'll wish it well when Disney come back to Australia and start releasing physical media again. 100%. I love seeing these posts on social media, where I saw one recently, a JB post, where it was a bunch of catalogue 4Ks that are coming out, and the comment section was just bombarded by people going, "When's Aliens coming out in 4K?" And then you get one white knight of the form that comes in and goes, "Disney left Australia back in da 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 da." But anyway, Disney come back. Anyway, let's talk about distributors that are actually in our local marketplace and releasing titles, including Roadshow, who are releasing from the Warner catalogue a title that you're no doubt very excited about. You may even have a copy behind you somewhere, or maybe they didn't send it out to you that fast, despite the fact that it has already dropped in the US. And I always find it a sin when an Australian film's released locally after its US release. It's Furiosa, a Mad Max Saga. It's coming out on 4K, Blu-ray and DVD. I'm sure it's embargoed, so maybe they're not slipping it out.
No, I've got it. It's in the other room, though.
Oh, it is? Oh, well, there you go. Well, just don't be showing it on camera, because we don't want to let, the viewers know. The listeners, that's fine. But anyway, that one's coming out, and it's got like 4 featurettes and an hour-long documentary on it as well. So I guess that's as much as you need to know. And let's face it, they're not going to do a double dip. They might put it in another steelbook. They are doing a box set. I mean, there is a steelbook, but, it's a cash cow. And knowing Warner Roadshow, they don't like revisiting the Mad Max films that often. When they do, they just repack them. This is as good as it's going to get. So if you're excited for Mad Max, pick it up. 4K Blu-ray, both have Dolby Atmos. So jump on it. I will have to check this one out myself. I have still not seen it.
I cannot wait to rewatch it.
I will watch it on a stream, stream it in 4K with Atmos before committing and laying down some cash. Because I had not revisited Fury Road since seeing it theatrically, but I do have it on
Ben
the collection
enjoyed it
there.
more than Fury Road, so...
I know, that was one of the selling points. When Ben says something like that, my ears prick up and I go, maybe I'll have to check it out.
And
that note, no doubt you're talking about this in the program, if you haven't already, you're probably talking about it later. And I know Ben wasn't at this screening because he was playing trivia with me in Brunswick. Alien Romulus, I did say the other night at trivia when you were at that session, I said, I don't know if I'm going to go and see it theatrically. And I bought a ticket. I'm going to go see it theatrically because, and I didn't. And that was before I read any good things about it. I just went like a sucker, like a moth to the flame. I'll be back to see another Alien film. Admittedly, it was Fede Alvarez that got me over the line. But yeah, I'm excited to go check that out. So I don't want to spoil your discussion of that. Getting back to this week's releases, because I do like to digress. The Exorcism is coming out from Roadshow. Now, this is obviously through Rialto, but Roadshow doing the distro. But we're getting double rusty this week, because we're not only getting The Exorcism on Blu-ray and DVD, we're also getting Land of Bad. However, I think that one's only getting a DVD, which is probably not surprising. I feel like that movie has gone to streaming ahead of its physical release.
I
feel like
so.
I've seen it
and
streaming.
Surprisingly, I've seen some pretty positive reviews and reactions to it. So
okay.
I'm kind of keen for it. It looks a little bit better than average.
Yeah, well, it's got to be better than that last one that he did. That was the Stan one. That was horrible. Was that the last one? I don't know. He's slipping him in left, right, and centre at the moment. Which one? Poker Face?
One with his it was
he directed with his that friends.
One. Yeah, well, actually, no.
He salvaged that one because apparently the previous director walked off or something like that, and he had to come in and bring it back. But he also they dropped the trailer for Craven the Hunter trailer 2. And he's in that as well.
I'm actually looking forward to that one. I'm not familiar with the source material, but purely because of the director, because it's J.D. Chander, isn't it? That did like All Is Lost and Margin Call and all those incredible films. Like, he's a really great director. So, I'm glad that he's got to make a bunch of films before he potentially makes a Sony Marvel movie, which doesn't really have a great track record. I mean, they've got the Spider-Man movies, which are good, but then they've also got the Venom movies, which I have a sick pleasure enjoying, and I can't wait to see the third one. But they also did Madam Web, which is now on Amazon Prime, and it's in my queue. But I don't know how rainy a day it'll be before I get to it. But I must watch it. I
think I made it through about 5 minutes. I tried to give it a go. And just the dialogue and stuff, just of Dakota Johnson at the beginning, I was like, I didn't even get up to Sydney Sweeney or Dora the Explorer. Like just the bit at the beginning, which is the doing paramedic stuff, and you're like, this is a fuck. Are they fucking kidding?
I love Sydney Sweeney's
that's ridiculous.
Her reaction to all the negativity in the press has been like, I'm just an actress. Like, it's just a job.
yeah, exactly. Yeah. Don't shoot me. Go see Immaculate instead.
We thought it would be good.
I thought I could salvage it by getting my tits out, but they wouldn't let me.
I will get there one day, but maybe not this week.
That's Madam Dark Web.
Mad Men have a documentary coming out on Blu-ray and DVD. I probably wouldn't mention it normally, but the fact that they're going to the effort of releasing on Blu-ray is pretty good. It's a documentary on the Collingwood Football Club titled Take the Steps. So, yeah, that's on Blu-ray and DVD for all you Collingwood football fans, the 2023 premieres.
Well, Melzy will be buying that one.
Oh, well, there you go. Perfect. And when you say we'll be buying that one, you'll be requesting a sample copy for her. Then also from Mad Men, this is one that I haven't seen that I do want to check out. New Zealand film that released theatrically a couple months ago, The Convert, with Guy Pearce. Good. Period set. Yeah, it looks fantastic. It's actually got Jared Turner in it as well, who's in a new film that yet another monster company will be releasing in New Zealand on September 12th. Grafted, and the trailer's out for that one, so check it out. Australian release date coming down the track. More news on that later. But anyway, Jared Turner's in that one.
It's Lee Tamahori as well.
Oh, of course, yeah. From the director of Once Were Warriors and Mulholland Falls, was it?
The Edge, yep.
And The Edge, yes. I do really like The Edge. Yeah, that was cool.
He's done heaps.
I'd like The Edge to make it to Blu-ray, but it's part of the Fox catalogue. It'll never happen.
Who cut that trailer for Grafted, Jarret?
Oh, was this guy? I did the trailer. I've got to check in on TikTok because I posted it on all the, different monster, socials and whatnot. Forgot about TikTok. Remembered about TikTok at about 5 a.m. this morning and put it out there. And, our TikTok's hit and miss with the whole 3 subscribers we have. Admittedly, we get quite a few views on the videos. Just they don't feel inclined to want to subscribe. But I'm curious to check out how that one's tracking.
I did notice the monster TikTok liked our account the other day.
Oh, yes, of course. Yeah, that was me. Probably at about 5 a.m. in the morning. I think I clicked on something. I still don't know how it really works. And I clicked on something. I was like, oh, yeah, cool. Follow.
I tell you
That
what,
makes a lot of sense
here's
because normally I had to look it up.
a little bit of cross promotion. So go to our TikTok and look up a video of myself and Chloe, and it titled on the screen on the thumbnail. It says "It just gets worse." It'll do your head in. It's hilarious, and it'll frustrate the fuck out of everybody that watches it. It's great.
Excellent, excellent. She's not going to rag on the Goonies again, is she?
Oh no.
Oh, good.
It just gets worse and worse as it goes, and I'll let you all discover what that means.
Excellent. Oh, funnily enough, this is going quite old school. I finally watched the Criterion Collection release of The Princess Bride the other night, and God, it looked phenomenal and it was fantastic. And I can't remember what the argument was back in the day, but I think it stemmed from Chloe. Was it that we didn't think it was a romantic
No,
film?
she didn't believe it was a comedy.
Oh, she didn't. Yeah, I mean, it's hilarious. It's as hilarious as it's romantic and action packed. It's a great film.
She's come around.
Inconceivable. So yes. Anyway, Princess Bride looks fantastic. I've been hammering.
We resolved it.
I'm going to come back to it all the years down the track. Your fault for bringing her up. I did watch After Hours, also the Criterion 4K of that, and that looks stunning. And that film always plays incredibly well and sends me into like an anxious kind of mode of just like, yeah. Anyway, great. Admittedly, not coming out this week on local home entertainment, but some 4K catalog titles, the ones I mentioned that JB posted about. We're getting a mother load of them. So many, in fact, that I didn't even realize that this one was getting released locally. And I just imported this snazzy, amazing box set. The cost, I ended up getting it for about $55, which is quite good because it's got a lot of useless bits and pieces in there. Lobby cards. I don't think it's even got any essays or anything like that. I think it's just literally posters that I'll never have. Lobby cards I'll look at once. And some sort of replica of one of the gold bars. Anyway, that one's coming out this week, but just as a standard 4K locally. Though I think all the special features are on the 4K anyway, so maybe I'll wait for this one to collect the value on eBay.
You've got all those lovely walls behind you. You've got all those lovely beige walls behind. No, it's not beige. I don't know what color.
Oh, yeah, wait. I mean, but that is the door where I have to come in and out. But yeah, you can't see the rest of the room quite at this point in time. But yeah, so apart from Italian Job, we also have Run Lola Run, which is very cool because this title was released in a box set in the US of 4K films from like Sony Classics, and that box set runs at like $300+. And this was one of the few films in that box set I wanted, along with SLC Punk. Don't think we'll see SLC Punk coming out locally, but Run Lola Run coming out locally. Once Upon a Time in the West coming out in 4K, Chinatown, and then this one just kind of came left of field. Underworld 5-film collection is coming out, and this is one people are genuinely very excited about, which is amazing considering I don't think there's been one good film in that franchise. No. And this is 5 of them together. So, go figure. But it is cheap, though. I think it's like about $100, which is quite cheap because the US one was running at a lot more. So, anyway, that's that.
For those that don't know, like a company called All Interactive Distribution took over the Sony stuff. They're doing a new push on first to 4K at the moment. Like they've got heaps more down the line. It's going to be awesome.
There's some great stuff in the pipeline. Like October's looking like a absolute banger of a month. The one I'm most excited about, though, admittedly not from All Interactive Distribution, but hopefully Roadshow are going to get it out similar time to the States and the UK, is Nightmare on Elm Street. Because that's coming out in the UK September 29. So I'm hoping Roadshow is going to release it in October locally. Though that said, I have already ordered it online because there's a beautiful box set coming out in the US with a bunch of useless shit I don't need, like lobby cards and posters. But it does have a steelbook that has the original key theatrical art, which is the most important thing. But lastly, gentlemen, I wanted to tell you about a little focus film, and it's this one here, Revenge of the Blood Beast. Now, this is a co-release between Raro Video and Radiance in the UK. It's a limited edition. It's, I think, about 3,000 units. I don't know if that means that once this one that's got a booklet in it runs out, they'll just do a standard, or whether it's 3,000 across the board. But this is a really cool film directed by Michael Reeves, who you might know from Witchfinder General and The Sorcerers. He was a really talented writer-director, but unfortunately passed when he was 26. I think it was a drug overdose, unfortunately. Always takes the good ones. But he was an incredible filmmaker. This is his first feature as a director, and it's just as cheeky as it is a horror film, and equally as sort of versed in light humor and horror as the latter films. Like, I mean, there's a really cheeky sensibility that's almost like kind of like that Eli Roth sort of sensibility, where you still get the horror, but it delivers that element of comedy. I'm talking about mainly Cabin Fever and Hostel, not so much about Borderlands, which I believe is so bad that it's not even good. I've heard nothing good about this movie whatsoever.
No, I can't wait to see it.
Did you do a review, an interview with Eli Roth or anybody? No, I don't imagine Roadshow did any publicity
there
for
was
this.
none
They literally
whatsoever.
did no marketing.
We didn't even have production notes to work off.
Yeah, well, there you go. Yeah, because it pretty much popped up on the theatre sites coming on this date, and I went, is it really though? Because we've seen no marketing, and then it was out.
I mean, the writing wasn't on the wall. Like, this movie had been going through a hellish production for years. Like, it just
absolutely,
didn't look
absolutely,
like it was going to get made.
I think, case in point being, if you're making a video game adaptation in this day and age, I think you should have learnt by now, stay faithful to the franchise, even if it's a new story within that universe. Cast people that, how much backlash have they had about Bella Ramsey with, The Last of Us? A lot of people didn't think she looked the part, but then everyone's happy that she plays the part really well. But surely we're not still in a world where Christopher Lambert's being cast as Raiden, in Mortal Kombat in the 95. We're in this world where we're doing things that are similar to the games. Anyway, clearly, yeah, Jamie Lee Curtis's character, she's playing a character that's apparently 26 in the gaming franchise, and she's, I think, early 60s. Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, it looked like a whole lot of bad. I saw the trailer before Deadpool. I hadn't even watched the trailer online, and they played the trailer before Deadpool, and all I could think was, God, that just looks like an absolute mess. It looks like Guardians of the Galaxy, but done on an Albert Pune budget, but with none of the charm. It just looked terrible. And apparently it cost $120 million to make. And I also read one review that said they've done the impossible task of making something look so cheap on an incredibly high budget. And at this stage, I believe it's made less than $8 million at the US box office off the back of a $120 million budget. Wow. And it may be the greatest financial disaster of all time when it comes to film. And this film's not going to be that movie that in 10 years people are going, no, Waterworld's actually really rad. They were just really unkind to it on release, which is true. Waterworld is really, really rad. Mm-hmm. But anyway, sorry, digressing. Revenge of the Blood Beast.
Go, Ben.
I was going to say 100% guarantee what will happen outside of this time right now. On any official release, you will never be able to refer to it as a flop. They'll just whitewash it completely on any subsequent release of that film.
For as long as they need to release it, and then it'll just go into hiding, and then people will be like, oh man, it wasn't that bad. I wouldn't mind seeing it again. It's really hard to find.
You just got to contextualize it.
Yeah, exactly. You just got to be prepared to be disappointed, basically. All I can say is that Eli Roth is definitely going to be doing Thanksgiving 2 a lot sooner than later, because I don't know if they're going to let him do. I mean, anytime he strays away from the genre, like with that house with the clocks in the wall, and
yeah, but that was
I don't know. I did not. I mean, maybe it's the curse of working with Cate Blanchett, but admittedly, she's very good in this film. She's about the saving grace, I've heard, which to me sounds. My favorite from last year was Tar. She played the lead. She was phenomenal in it. But she's not an actress that sells a movie for me. So when someone says the best thing about the movie is Cate Blanchett, then I'm not rushing to get a ticket or even stream it. But anyway, Revenge of the Blood Beast, a.k.a. the She-Beast. The story goes, a newlywed couple, they're traveling and they stop in a small village. Unfortunately, they get in a little car wreck. The wife dies, or believed to have died, but she's actually possessed by an ancient witch that was drowned in a small village some centuries ago. And that wife is played by Barbara Steele, who you might know from a lot of Mario Bava films. This film is fucking great. Like, this is a film that I went in with that Borderlands sort of thing. I was prepared to be disappointed. I knew it was his first feature. I'd never read too much about it. And so I was just kind of like, okay, well, we'll see, where he started. It was great. I mean, it's funny, and it's genuinely funny. It's got this nice balance of humor. Oh my God, there's some really crazy stuff. What year is this? I think it's 67. No, 1966. There's some crazy shit in this movie that I can't believe they got away with at the time, that I don't even want to spoil because it just comes out of nowhere. But yeah, I really dug it. And I kept saying to Danny when I was watching, I was like, this is really good. I think she was on a computer at the time, so she didn't appreciate it quite as much as I did. But I think I said, I'm going to loan this to your dad because I think he's going to like it too. Revenge of the Blood Beast. Like I said, there's only 3,000 of these going around, so maybe get on board and get a copy now. Ben's right on
popping it into my car,
straight onto Rare Waves to go and grab a copy. Although maybe it's available at Dead End DVD. I don't know. I did get it from I did pre-order it from Rare Waves in the UK. But anyway, great film. That's my recommendation. Recent release too. Just came out in July.
Good
so no doubt there's probably 2,300 units left. So, get on it in the near future.
Add to cart.
Now there's 2,699 copies.
You know what the other thing that's sitting in my cart is currently on Amazon, which is it's got a re-release. Speaking of video game
Gregory's Girl.
No, although
I got that on 4K in the cupboard of shame.
I picked that up on 4K from Dead End DVD, funnily enough.
Oh, there you go. It's in my cupboard of shame.
But I don't know if you know this, but a couple of years ago they crowdfunded a Bud Spencer, Terence Hill
video game. Yes,
and it kind of came and then disappeared almost immediately.
Yeah,
because it was only for the I didn't hear about the crowdfunding campaign until it was over.
Yeah,
until it got, and it made like something like 2,000% more than the crowdfunder thing.
That's phenomenal.
But in Germany on PlayStation 4, they have actually released this game now. Out to the general public, and it is sitting in my account. So this will get my
free
my
shipping.
my Prime thing up to the free shipping.
Prime international shipping. Perfect.
I mean,
Ben, you are gonna love this movie. Like honestly, I 100% know you're gonna love it because it is. Fuck, there's some great scenes in this movie. On a whole, it's fantastic. But geez, I think you're really gonna like it. We should play this at Monster Fest. We should be doing this at Monster Fest. This is what the people need to see.
The game, the game is actually called Slaps and Beans. I just want to put that out
there. But you got to admit, the average gamer is going to be like, "Who the fuck is Bud Spencer?"
Yeah, totally. Hey, it's the guy from Pieces.
But literally, like the video of the game is you can play Terence Hill or Bud Spencer, but when you play Bud Spencer, all you do is slap people with your giant meaty hands.
Yeah,
it's like amazing. I guess a platform scroller kind of thing.
Oh, awesome! Yeah, old school. Yeah,
slapping guy.
See, that's
with
phenomenal.
His big meaty paws. But so now they're both in my cart, and
we'll come back next year and see if you purchase them.
I'll come back next week and I'll add another one to your cart so we can get it right up there. Because sometimes, even if you meet a minimum delivery requirement to get free shipping, you're like, but I need to get it to 3 items. Just 3. 3's the number. 3 items and I'll place the order. Yeah. Yes, there's a sequel. I thought that was the case.
Well, now you've got 3 items.
Now I've got 3 items.
You'll have to do the pre-order.
But why don't I have? Where's what's her name gone? This is
thrilling for everybody.
Where's bloody Beast
anyone
gone?
Listening isn't getting the enjoyment of watching Ben on the computer trying to place an order and the items in his cart disappearing. Do screen share so at least the YouTube and TikTok audience get to have a look.
It's like after the debacle of breakdancing at the Olympics this year, I think in Los Angeles they're going to introduce old person tries to buy something off the internet which
coincidentally looks exactly the same.
Yes, Oh God, that's brilliant. All right, gentlemen. Well, that's it for me for this week. So until next time, stay physical.
Stay physical.